Hey, it's me, Leanne, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So before we start, I have to take a quick minute and, apologize to Miss Stephanie and Miss Erica over at Leahy. I took a little bye last week, and apparently it raised, threw a kink into their day. So I just wanted to apologize to you ladies for that. And we are back on track today. So we have been going over our how beach bodies are made in the winter series and my 8 tips for getting fit. And we've already gone through and we've discussed water, the importance of water, planning and making space, portion control. And this week we're going to talk about food. And it's funny, it's kind of interesting. I'm just going to share this with you real quick. I have a couple little vegan friends, and I was talking to them about this protein piece of it, right? And they were saying to me, you really don't have to go out of your way to get protein, and that's really opposite of what I've heard my whole life, being, in kind of healthy and dieting and training and all this crazy stuff. So I had to take a minute and I had to, do a little bit of research on that. And what I found is we actually only need about 0.8 grams of protein per pound a day, which for me is like 47 grams, which blew my mind, right? So it was just funny to me, and I just thought I would throw it out there so that we actually don't have to worry about how much protein that we're consuming on a day-to-day basis. And I'll just throw this little caveat in, and I'm going to say this: unless you are dieting, unless you're trying to lose weight. And I've done some research on this, and I've read that a higher percent of people lose weight when they eat about a third of their calories in lean protein. And I'll also throw this in there too. My little vegan girlfriend said to me that you also need to make sure that you include healthy fats, because that kind of helps with some of the brain fog that you might get from cutting out some of those calories. With that said, moving on. So I'm going to talk about protein first. And personally, I believe that you should have a little protein with each one of your meals. It helps slow down the absorption of sugar into your system. So if you're eating nuts and raisins, raisins are a little high in sugar. They might spike your blood sugar and your appetite if you don't have a protein with it to kind of slow that absorption down. So, and if we don't eat enough protein when we're dieting, what might happen is that our body will go looking for that somewhere else, and we'll look at our muscles, and it will take it from there versus the body fat that we want to take it from and we want to lose. So what are some good proteins? So lean beef, right? So something leaner. I always liked like the 93% hamburger if I ate it. Poultry, of course, chicken and lean turkey or white turkey meat. Fish, dairy products, probably low fat or skim. Eggs, nuts, and seeds. So there you go. And carbs. So next we're going to talk a little bit about carbs. And, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm eating too many carbs. Well, you know what? All carbs aren't evil. We actually need carbs in our body. So some of the ones we might want to watch out for are simple carbs, because they actually absorb quickly into your bloodstream, will spike your blood sugar and increase your appetite. So those would be the white things that you always hear about. So white rice, breads, flours, those types of things. And complex carbs, I talked a little bit about this last week. We want complex carbs, and those take longer to absorb into your bloodstream, keeping your appetite and your blood sugar kind of even keeled. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today. I don't know why. So those would be things like sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, whole grain breads, that type of thing. And fibrous foods, I'm going to talk about that next. Fiber's great. And actually we don't get enough fiber in our diet. I think, and I forgot to look at what this was, but we need a higher percent of fiber in our diet. And basically what this does is it keeps our body regular, and it also helps suppress our appetite. So fibrous foods help to keep you fuller longer, which is great, on less calories, okay, which is great because you don't eat as much, and this is what we want more dieting. So what might that include? It could include, whole wheats, unprocessed grain, kidney beans, brown rice, oats, as well as non-starchy vegetables, steamed or raw, and those you can eat as many of those as you want, which is, you want a little snack, have a little vegetable. And fats. So this gets a little convoluted here. But fats are good for us too. You know, we need good fats in our diet. They help with our brain function and our nerve activity. So, what might that look like? So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the different fats. So there's three kinds really. There's saturated fats, which come from animals. They usually are solid at room temperature. Those are the ones that aren't as great for us, and they tend to increase our bad cholesterol, right? We don't want that. And unsaturated fats, there's really two of those. So there's monounsaturated, which is oil, olive oil, nuts, peanuts, canola oil, and avocado. And studies have showed that these help increase our good cholesterol. And then this polyunsaturated, which is also good, and that is like corn, soy, bean oils and stuff. It can also reduce our bad cholesterol, but it can also reduce our good cholesterol if we have too much of it. And then trans fat. Trans fats are the worst. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of the foods that are sitting there on the shelf have trans fats in them, and trans fats actually help to increase the shelf life of certain products like, you know, donuts, chips, imitation cheese, cookies, all that stuff. And what trans fats actually are, they're unsaturated fat made from a vegetable oil that's turned into saturated fat in a lab. So this is a man-made fat that has been created to prolong shelf life of certain foods. And lastly, I'm going to talk quickly about alcohol. And even though alcohol is not a food, it kind of inhibits weight loss if you're trying to diet down. Our body actually sees alcohol as a toxin. And what happens when we drink is the liver will go and try to process those calories first. And then what it does is it leaves the calories that we consume from food, be it good, bad, or indifferent, right? It's going to see them as being extra, and it's going to store those as fat, which we don't want. So like I said, that's just a quick overview on food. All this stuff is on the internet. You can, read through. You can find all kinds of information out there on the internet, but this is just the down and dirty of it. Yeah, so that's all I got. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this Wellness Wednesday. Again, Steph and Erica, sorry about last week. And yeah, you all have a great day. Bye-bye.